crafty friends, how are you doing over there in YouTube land? This is Crafting with Lucretia coming at you with another video. This is going to be a whipping chat, so grab what you're working on and work along with me while I tell you stories of what's been going on in my life, my neighborhood, yada yada. What am I working on? I'm working on my Mykathon kit for the paint along that they're doing over on Facebook. My good friend Jenny Rose. And this is my kit. This is Crystal Owl. I'm working on this section right here. I'm understanding why some people don't like 310 background. Trust me, it looks good. It makes the colors pop, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of black backgrounds. Apparently, who knew? You know, you got to try something in order to know, right? So that's what I've learned about myself in this little journey. I'm not a huge fan of black backgrounds. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. Let's see. This is my drill tray. It's from Yellow Dog. It's my Just Breathe 2025 tray. From an earlier event this year. My pin is from Lady Lathe, Vicky Peterson. Made this pre-pin. This was back. It's actually a Christmas pin. It's got snowflakes in it, rainbow colored snowflakes. It's like. It's so pretty. It's not just a snowy, wintry pin. It's just an all-around good pin. It feels good in your hand. It's got the DAC stainless tips in it. My trinket tray over here is made by Wendy K Designs. Flash that for you. Wendy K Designs made that for me. It was out of her Etsy shop. She makes some really pretty things. My trash trinket tray is from the whip thing that Black Dahlia has over there on their Etsy store, which reminds me I need to go get the scent of the months. So there's my trash pot. And my colors this time, you know how I usually work out of Harbor Freights? Well, this time I've got round containers. Working out of this small kit. And I have them in a set. See if I can pull this up without dumping it all over the place. I got this, either I purchased it from Heather when she was doing a D-stash, or I don't remember which. I do remember it came from Heather. I just don't remember whether I won it or purchased it off of her for storage. But it has all these like little containers, little round containers, and it has a pouch for other stuff like putty and extra drills and whatnot. So, yeah, there's that. That's what I'm working with. I think I got everything. Now, let's get on to the stories. Let's get my little note out here. Oh, because it's been a week. Okay, so I already mentioned that hubby is on the road again to get his truck fixed. I swear that man can't keep his truck fixed. He keeps hitting at another truck, and I'm like, nope, I'm not paying for another one. We just got this one paid off, and of course now is the time it chooses to end up. The warranty goes out on it, and it gets paid off, and it's just like, yeah, now it breaks. After the warranty's gone, after mileage is out, and the warranty's out, yeah, now it decides to break down, and I was like, Urgh. And don't ask me what's wrong with it. I'm not a mechanic. I don't really understand what Quincy was trying to tell me. I do know last week he was trying to change the spark plugs, and he did that, and he was able to do that, but it's still missing. So, and apparently the missing is getting worser, and so he was going to take it up there to his brother, hop it along up there in Arkansas, and see if him and his brother could spend the couple days, Thursday and Friday, trying to fix the truck and see what's going on with it and try to figure out why it's missing, yada yada yada. Him and his brother are both Shade Tree mechanics, and his brother has a whole bunch of tools up there, so Quincy just, basically brother will end up fixing it for him while Quincy stands there in the sun and proceeds to supervise. Yeah, that's about how it usually works. And they'll end up going out for pizza and having a guy's night, and he'll come back tomorrow and be hopefully in a good mood. His brother wanted to take him to the Tyson store and go do some shopping, and it's like, guys going shopping. Oh dear, that's never good. Never ever good. But hey, he's got to have his brotherly time. Kind of makes me a little jealous because I don't have any brothers and sisters, blood related anyway, and I don't have anyone that wants to hang with me. I can't go across state lines and you know go spend the night at Sally Mae's house or whatnot. Go hit up the town with my friend whoever. You know, I don't have that option. It'd be nice. God, it'd be nice to be able to get away. But I'm enjoying a little staycation here of music, diamond painting, dogs, and laundry. Yeah, I know. You may say, well, that's not much of a staycation. I know, but I'm happy. So don't ruin it for me. I'm happy as can be in my little, content in my little space, and I'm good. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see what else. I told you about the truck, and let's start talking about the dogs. There's always a good dog story or two, right? You know my healers, right? Mojo and Sadie. Yeah. Well, Mojo had his yearly vet appointment. What was it? This last Monday. And I made it Monday because Quincy, Mojo does not do very good, and I needed someone with brute strength to wrangle the dog. I tried to last year, and I failed miserably, and I completely forgot that the vet asked me, next time you bring the dog in, can we knock him out? Because he's... Mojo can get a bit aggressive with others. And like any dog, if he's put in a corner, he will fight, he will attack, he will bite. He gets kind of mean at the vet's office, okay? So they literally had to muzzle him. We had to pretty much hog tie him to hold him down so the vet could come in and do their shots and do their exam. And yeah, he reminded me again, he's like, if you're going to keep coming here, we're going to have to do the doggy cocktail like an hour before your appointment because it's they say it's a safety thing. I don't know. Yeah, I get that, but I don't get it. I don't really think my dog should be drugged to have to go to the vet. I'm kind of irritated at that, so I don't know. And Quincy saw him for the first time like that, and he's like, no other vet's gonna touch him if he acts like that. And I'm like, well, yeah, I don't want to have to drug him up every time to go to the doctor. But I guess I'm gonna have to. Y'all, they gave my dog a shot of Valium to calm his butt down. I mean, he was racing. His heart was racing. They cut his nails, and so one of his quicks was bleeding, and it was they put that yellow stuff on it to stop it from bleeding. And yeah, he'd just get ramped back up, and it would pop, and it would start bleeding all over the place. And I'm like, oh great. We knew we were in trouble when they took Mojo back, and then came back a few minutes later with a muzzle. Can you help us muzzle your dog? Yeah, that's never a good sign. And then the vet said what he did. I mean, he still managed to give him his couple pokes of shots and stuff, but it took like 4 people to hold Mojo down. Let me tell you, he's a strong dog. Cattle dogs are not. You may think they're a medium-sized dog, and they are. Man, they've got some strength behind them. Even Sadie, when I'm playing tug of war, she will yank your arm off with one of her toys. Oh my God, she will. They've both got strength behind them. So yeah, I see that. I get it. It's a safety thing. I still don't like it, but yeah, we did get Mojo's shots done. Barely, but we got them done. It took us a little bit, but yeah, it took a lot out of me. Okay, so next story, Sadie and the armadillo. Okay, so the other morning, Quincy was getting up to go to work at his ungodly hour of, I think it was like 4 o'clock, about 4 o'clock. I'll just say 4 o'clock. Um, in the morning, yes, in the morning, to get up and go to work. Right, right. So I had to get up and go to the bathroom, and so that woke the dogs up. And Quincy was like, "Oh, the dogs shouldn't have woke you up." I'm like, "They didn't. My kidneys did. I had to go to the bathroom." Getting older, can't hold it quite as well, TMI. But yeah, Mother Nature called. I had to answer. Right, right. So anyway, the dogs get up with me because they're, always in the bed cuddling next to me. I get up, they get up. So I was like, well, since they're up too, I can just put them out and get me a quick drink to sip on and take my morning meds and lay there on the couch and curl up and go back to sleep. Right, right. Wrong. I mean, right, but wrong. So anyway, they weren't out, I don't even think a whole minute, and they started barking up a storm, and it wasn't their usual bark of something's out in the neighborhood that we're barking at, right? No, it was something's in the yard, we're in kill mode. So yeah, if you don't if you want to see it in one piece, get out here now, type thing. And so I went out there and I hollered at Quincy. I was like, "Hey, they've got something by the fence. Come and help me real quick." And I'm thinking, "Oh God, please don't be." The last thing they killed was a bunny. And I'm like, "Oh God, please don't have it in pieces across the yard. I don't want to step in it. I don't want to see it alive and suffering, you know." And yeah. So anyway, I get over there, grab the flashlight out of the kitchen, take it with me to the out on the way out the door. They're up there by this side of the fence over here, and they're just raising Cain, barking and growling and lunging at something. I'm like, oh God, please don't let it be a skunk or a coon or something that I have to kill. And yeah, I was like, I just don't want to kill it. I'm not a killing person. I've done it. I don't like it. You threaten my dogs though, and it's fair game. If you get vicious with my dogs, I get vicious with you. I will protect them. And so I grabbed the shovel and went out there, and I was like, what in the heck? I'd never seen an armadillo before. Okay? They're ugly little things, and it was rolled up in a ball, kind of like a tortoise, but with 4 legs. And I'm like, okay, at first I think, okay, it's a turtle. No, that's not quite a turtle. And Quincy came out, and he was like, well, what do they have over there by the fence? I'm like, I have no idea what this thing is. And he's like, well, he couldn't quite see it. He's like, well, what's it look like? I was like, a turtle with legs and a funny head. And I was like, it looks kind of like an anteater, but not an anteater. It's got the anteater face, with the long snout and the ears that poke up. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't know what this is. Come tell me what this is and get one of the dogs before Sadie eats it. I was like, I've never seen such a critter. I've heard of them. I was like, I'd heard of them, but I've never seen one. Possums, squirrels, foxes, bunny rabbits, small stuff we get. I've never seen an armadillo like that. I'm like, that's an ugly looking sucker. So Quincy came over and was like, oh yeah, it's an armadillo. It's like a baby armadillo, And he's like, it's about Quincy said it was about half grown. I don't know. It was, about hand size, I'm like, okay, great. Well, what do we do with it? And he's like, and it had proceeded to roll itself up in a ball. I'm like, oh, okay. That's different, because it was still getting attacked from the dogs. And it was like, okay, humans, you're supposed to help me. What are you doing? And Quincy's like, don't pick it up. They carry disease. And I'm like, oh, God, what kind of disease? He's like, let me grab the shovel. I was like, I've got the shovel. Here's the shovel. I was like, I just didn't know how to kill it because you can't really kill those things. They have armor. And he's like, no, don't kill it. Just throw it over the fence. And I'm like, okay. So he proceeded to, and it had rolled itself up in a ball. And it was trying to protect itself. And so the neighbor has a whole bunch of brush over here on that side of the fence that he really needs to take care of because now he has a pet armadillo. So, anyway, we throw it over there, and later that morning, Quincy went on to work, and I checked the dogs, make sure they were okay. Of course, they were okay, no bites on them. Healers do not back down from anything, okay? They do not back down from a bunny. If anything gets in this yard, it is dead. We have seen stray cats. We have seen bunny rabbits. We have seen a coon. We have seen many birds and squirrels. You know, anything gets in here, it's dog meat. There's just not going to be enough time to save whatever gets in the yard. So it's just, it is what it is. Healers do not back down. They protect the yard. Ooh, boy, they make a noise about it though. Talking to the neighbor. I let the dogs. I came in, went back to bed, got me a drink, like I said, and went back to bed. Laid back on the couch and watched some YouTube, and got up about 8:30. You know, later on that morning. Well, the neighbor was already up and about, and he heard me letting the dogs out because they make a huge commotion. He came over to the fence. He's like, "Hey, what was that racket out about 3 or 4 o'clock this morning?" I was like, "Oh, no big deal. The dogs found a armadillo in the yard." He's like, a what? And he had to look it up. He's like, what in the world is an He's not from here, okay? He's like, what? I mean, he's a white guy, but he's not. I guess I don't remember where he said he was from, but he's like, what in the world is an armadillo? And I'm like, look it up. Google armadillo. And so he was trying to spell armadillo. And of course, it's actually pronounced armadillo. I'm Southern, so I call it an armadillo. You know. And so he looked it up. He's like, oh. And I was like, and he's like, would that have hurt my chickens? Because he's the one that has the chicken coop in his backyard, right? Right. And I was like, I have no idea what an armadillo eats. And he's like, well, that's great. Did the dogs kill it? I'm like, nope. And I looked at him and kind of grinned, and he's like, why, what? I was like, I threw it over the fence in your yard. Congratulations, you now have a pet dilla. And he's like, I don't want a pet armadillo. I'm like, too bad, it's in that brush pile. And he's like, okay. Great, thank you. And I'm like, and he's like, I guess that's fair. I need to clean up the brush pile a little bit. And I'm like, yep. And I was like, you cleaned up and put it by the street. The city will haul it off for free. And he's like, yeah, I know, but he's got a busy work schedule, and I don't really know what he does. I haven't really talked to him a whole lot. And he used to have like a contractor truck out there in front of his house, but he hadn't had that in a while. Haven't seen that truck in a while, so I don't know if he's still with that company or he went out and found another job. I don't know. I haven't talked to him. We're neighbors, but we don't really talk a whole lot, But he was just wondering what was going on at 3, 4 o'clock this morning, and I don't rightly blame him. It was a headache. It was a headache. It was a headache. It was not one thing. And I'm sure it'll happen again, but, dogs. Dogs for you. Okay. So, during the day, I usually do my diamond painting. On to the next story, by the way. During the day, I usually do my diamond painting, and hubby comes home at work for the night. Of course, he doesn't come home tonight. Yay! He's off in Arkansas, but, I get to diamond paint in peace. Hallelujah. But, usually, he'll watch TV in the evening after he comes home, right? And we'll sit there and watch TV, and I usually color or read a book. And so I got looking on my, the first of the month rolls around, and I was like, okay, I need to check my coloring book subscription because I probably have new pages to color. And I did. I had like 2 or 3 new books to choose from and to work out of this month. And I'm like, cool. One of them being a fall book. I love fall. That's like my jam, okay? I love fall scents. I love the fall colors. I love the fall weather. I love the fall activities of the pumpkin patches and the vegetable gardens and the festivals and the craft fairs and the Howdy Neighbor festivals and you know, what have you. The music jamborees, all that stuff. I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So that's like my time of the year. That's my time. That's my season is fall. I could do fall 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 if you'd let me. Back whenever I was decorating whenever this is before I left the church, but was teaching church there or Sunday school for the kids for a little bit, and I decorate my room, right? And I tried to go with the seasons, but I stuck with this one look and I loved it. And the kids were like, I had forest animals everywhere. I had owls. And it was fall themed, okay? So I had owls, I had foxes, I had squirrels with nuts in the trees, and, fall flowers, the mums, and all around my classroom. I mean, the mums were fake, of course, but you get the picture. I did a fall theme, and I kept it there pretty much. That was my go-to theme, was fall. And my saying was, you always have something to be thankful for. And that's true. I was trying to teach the kids thankfulness. And, when they're having a bad day, what can they be thankful for? And so we started teaching them how to pray, how to do the prayer, how to, what is a need, what is a want. Those kids, let me tell you, those first couple prayers before we had some of them lessons, they were like, oh yeah, I need this game system, and I need this, I need a new cell phone, and they're like kindergarten age. I'm like, you don't need a cell phone. Oh yes, I do, everyone else has them. I'm like, I'm sorry, I teach little kids, and little kids don't need a cell phone. This group that I was teaching was from, 5 to 9, okay? That age, in my opinion, doesn't need a cell phone. Maybe I'm wrong, but they need to be with their folks. But parents today are so busy, but that's another topic for another day. Back to, I was going on my coloring book cafe, and I love fall, right? Right. So I'm actually trying to win a set of colored pencils. Every month they have a contest, and so I've been spending the evenings doing more coloring because I'm trying to win a contest. Not like I need a new set of colored pencils. I don't. I just want to win. So root me on if you see this. Find some colored pencils down there and emoji. Send me the emoji of colored pencils or coloring or drawing or something like that. And I'll know you made it this far in the video. That's a fun way to communicate with me. And someone sent me a new coloring book here last week, and it hit on a day I wasn't having a very good day anyway. I was stuck here at home. Abby had the car, and so anyway, this coloring book shows up, and it showed up on a Sunday. I wasn't expecting a delivery on Sunday. I wasn't expecting a delivery at all. And so my doorbell chimes off that someone's there, and I looked on the monitor, and someone's dropping off the package and walking away. I'm like, okay, I didn't order anything. So I get up and look out the window, and sure enough, there's a little package out there on my front doorstep that looks like an envelope. And I'm like, pretty sure I didn't order anything. I mean, memory issues. Sometimes I don't always remember. And so I went out, picked it up, and brought it in. Of course, I had my name on it and address. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I didn't order anything. It was from Amazon, so I went back and checked my orders, and I didn't order anything. Okay, what did I get? One of you guys sent me a coloring book, so thank you again. I made a whole video about it, but I just wanted to say thank you again. It's very nice. I haven't colored in it yet. I need to. I don't know what page to pick first, but it's very lovely and I love it. I'm going to enjoy it. So thank you again to whoever sent that. I still don't know exactly who sent it. I have my suspicions because a few of you after the video went up had messaged me and put little comments in the comment section, And so I kind of have my suspicions of who it was. I'm not going to say because, I don't know for sure. And maybe they meant it that way. Maybe they were just trying to be nice and I hadn't done a coloring video in a while. So they were trying to, hey, do a coloring video. I don't know. But thank you for the coloring book. I appreciate it. I really do. I'm going to start coloring in it soon. Watch for updates. I need to get back into coloring because that's good for my brain. That really helps calm me down, along with diamond painting. Keep me calm. Goodness knows I need that because I live with Quincy. Oof. He can be a handful sometimes. It's like a big kid. I want, and I grumble, and I have my temper tantrums, and if I don't get my way, it's like, quit your yelling at me. That's not going to work no more. Are you done having your hissy fit? Okay, good. Learning a few things with counseling. Learning a few things. It's not... Quincy may not say it's a good thing, but, I think it's a good thing. I'm learning how to handle him. Where was that class 20 years ago? Oh, goodness. But, yeah, we're doing all right. We're still working on our marriage, but we're doing okay. Channel news... really don't have any updates on the channel too much. Still making videos while I'm talking about the channel. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. It's free to do. You never know when I'm going to put up a video. I still don't have a really set schedule. I try to film on the days that hubby's at work, okay? Yeah. And here's another funny part, okay? You may think this is funny. You may not think it's funny. I don't know. I thought it was kind of hilarious. He came in one day and he was talking about one of his not his current bosses, but one of his previous bosses had started a YouTube channel. Now she doesn't do the crafting like I do. She does outdoor adventure. She likes going to national parks and doing hiking videos, and so she sees scenery. I actually need to check hers out because it actually sounded good. I would have liked in my younger years to do that, and if I was in better health. Unfortunately, I'm not able to walk that far, so there's no way I could go hiking. There's no way I can go very far on a walking trail, okay? I just go a little bit, and about the first bend of the road, I'm done and ready to sit down. I can't walk that far, unfortunately, but it looks like fun, and maybe I can have my adventure through her. I don't know. I don't know the name of her channel. I'll have to get up with Quincy on that and find out, but it sounded interesting. But anyway, he came home from work one day telling me all about it. He's like, hey, I heard from my old boss, and she's doing a YouTube channel. She gets paid for going out to these parks and doing these videos? He's like, you should really check out YouTube video and think about doing a YouTube channel. I'm like, I looked at him up like I was nuts. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Now keep in mind, I have in this craft room that you're sitting in, right in front of me, right, I mean, you're on it right now, is my computer with 2 cameras on it. I looked at him and I was like, what do you think the cameras and the microphone are for? He's like, oh, I don't know. You're trying to Zoom with your friends all the time. I'm like, that's not all I do with my computer. And I was like, YouTube, yeah, it's like that, but it's not like that. You have to work hard to get paid. And yeah, I'm not paid yet. I'm not to that level. I will never be to that level because one, I'm on disability, so I cannot have any other income. Because that would mess up my disability. So, and I told him this, and he's like, oh, and I was like, no, I do have a YouTube channel. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I was like, I thought you knew about it, because every now and then I'd ask you, hey, how do I do this on a video? How do I, because I'm still trying to work with how to figure out sound effects and how to figure out how to add subtitles, and there's so many things to learn. It's a huge learning curve. It really truly is. But mainly I just enjoy making the videos. Okay? I just do this for fun. I'm bored. I'm a housewife. I gotta have somebody to talk to, even if they're in YouTube land. So, yeah. And he was like, okay. He's like, no, you don't have a YouTube channel. I'm like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And he's like, well, how many viewers do you have? I was like, 200. He's like, oh, well, she's got like over 1,000. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a big channel. Not a big channel by any means. But I'm growing little bit by little bit. I have some other YouTuber friends helping me out along the way. And we're trying to grow the channel a little bit here and there. So, yay. So I had to tell him about crafting with Lucretia. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, what do you do? I was like, mainly diamond painting. Sometimes I show off a coloring book or coloring pages or do something else. But mainly it's diamond painting. I was like, the computer is set right up there on my diamond painting table. And it is. I mean, you're right there. you're right over there. On one end of this folding table. I'm down here at the other one. The computer's over there. It's like, what did you think I was doing? He's like, well, I don't know. I'm not here during the day. I'm like, exactly. I gotta have something to do. And then he kind of insulted me. He's like, well, why can't you just sit there and watch TV like most people? I'm like, I'm not most people. I gotta have a creative outlet. I've got to be tinkering with something, working on a craft. I've always been very crafty, very wanted to be crafty. And now that I'm retired, disabled retired, it's not retirement. Disability is not the best thing. Yes, it's a paycheck, but it's, the government watches what you do. Uncle Sam watches. Worse than my healer dogs. They're like, I'd be watching you, so does Uncle Sam. Feels like it. And I'm doing mine totally legit. I have 4 or 5 doctor's notes that declare me, disabled because of the meningitis years ago. I'll never be able to work again, which sucks because I really miss it. And trust me, as soon as I've tried to get on at the library where I volunteer at and whatnot. They had a couple positions open. And so I tried for it. You know what happened? As soon as they did the application, I filled out the application. I went in for an interview. And as soon as they looked at my application, they're like, how come you haven't worked in 9-10 years? And I tell them, I'm on disability. Okay. Thank you, but we need someone that can actually do the work. I'm like, ugh. I was like, I'm sorry, have you seen me here? I'm always helping people. I know that library backwards and forwards. I'm always telling people, hey, to go to the library, and we're having this kind of deal and promoting the library. I grew up in a library, okay? My dad was a bookworm. He taught me how to read in a library. He taught me how, for kindergarten, at 5 years old, you can get a library card back home in Arkansas, okay? He got me, not only did I get a box of crayons, yes, that was great too, because I loved to color back then. I've always liked to color. But he also got me my library card. Now I had to keep it in Dad's wallet, but every Saturday we would go to the library, and I would be able to pick out. I think I could only pick out like 3 books at that point in time. I was just a little kid, 5 years old. They don't let you have a whole lot of stuff. Here's Dad with his 20 some odd books to check out. Has them in a book bag, and I've got like 3 little skinny ones, storybook type things. But I'm happy as a lark because I'm carrying my 3 books up the stairs to, you know, to the adult section and go find my dad's like, look, I got books. He's like, okay, let me finish getting my books and we'll go home, and on the way home we'll stop and get a root beer at the A&W. Yes, this dates the video because A&W is sadly no longer around, leastwise around my neighborhood, but man, it was the memories of going to the library have not diminished. Now Dad's long gone, but I still read many books. Now granted, I've pretty much switched over to audiobooks for a lot of them, but sometimes I still read a book. And sometimes I still see, like, just a couple. Earlier this month I saw a book. It was based on Robert B. Parker. Robert B. Parker's passed away back in the 90s, I think, but another person has taken it up and started writing a series of Spencer for Hire. And so I saw this new Spencer story, and I'm like, I had to read it. Had to. And I told the librarian the story of my dad taking me to read and learning me to read, and she's like, you don't usually read, crime stories like that, and you're right, usually I don't. Usually I stick to the Christian fiction, the cozy mysteries. This is someone killed the bad guy and it's going to get bloody, story. And that's not usually my cup of tea because it kind of bothers me a little bit, but I was like, yeah, but it's also nostalgia because that was one of Dad's favorite authors. We watched the TV series together. We read the books. That was one of my first adult books, was a Spencer book called Taming a Seahorse. Yep. Yeah, those were the good old days. Those were the good old days. So, anyway, I fully promote the libraries. I really do. But enough with that. That's really about all I've got planned. Like I said, the channel-wise, I don't have really anything else. I'm still making the videos. Still tracking along in the Mykathon. Still enjoying it. I'm not sure if I'll finish it. I'm hoping I'll finish. I need, peace and quiet. I might get it finished. I might get another section done for week 3. Week 2 is already here. And I submitted my picture this morning earlier. And it was just like, wow. Week 2. The fun flies by. It really does. When you're having fun, the time flies by. And I know eventually hubby will come home and my fun will be over. But, I got a couple days rest from him. That's the good part. So anyway, I'm going to let you go here. And I'm just going to put some music on. Maybe put one of my audiobooks on for my book club. Listening to one about the Civil War. This little blind girl gets lost in the, I think it's in Germany, because there's talking about German soldiers, but it's interesting. This little blind girl can find her way. Her dad built before he disappeared, he built like a model of the city, and she could touch it with her hands and remember the path to go. This is how you go to the baker. This is where the house is. This is where the bakery is. You go this way, this way, this way. And you have this, this, and this along the way. And so she knows in a certain area where to go. But now the Germans are coming to town and blowing everything up. So let's see how she can manage finding her way now that some of the buildings may not be there. So I think I will let you go and pop up that book on the computer. And I will see you guys in the next one, okay? In the meantime, be kind to your mind. What's my saying? Do something. Enjoy the little things, okay? So, go enjoy a book. We were talking about books earlier. Go enjoy a book. Go to the library. Get a book. Do a craft like I'm doing. Listen to some music. You know, go to a festival. It's you know, festival time here in Missouri. So go to a little festival or whatnot. Go have some fun. Okay? Do something nice for yourself. Go enjoy the little things. All that fun stuff. Be kind to your brain, okay? This is Crafting with Lucretia signing off. Have a good one. Bye-bye.